folks. We're going to talk to you about developing your negotiation style and skills, because you may already realize that you already have a style and some skills. You may be someone who's soft-spoken but effective. You may be hard driving and ineffective. You don't have to be conniving to be convincing as part of our message. And over the past year, over the past 6 months, or even the last few days, you probably have already had negotiation opportunities. And whether you realize it or not, you either demonstrated that you had an adverse circumstance or a missed opportunity. The adverse circumstance is one in which you had to respond one way or another, either by inaction or inaction. And there'd be missed opportunities where if you had done something else, you might have gotten what you wanted. That's all part of your negotiating style that we want to uncover and have you reveal that. Why? Because unless you realize how you're perceived by others and know what your style is, know how you actually communicate with others in nonverbal ways, until you know that, you're not sure then if you're giving up your secrets. If there are times when you really thought you were not telling somebody what you really thought about them, but you really did. And so that's why your negotiating DNA is what we want to uncover. Be heightening your sensitivity to how you're perceived by others. One way to do that is for you to complete a journal that we have put together for you. You're actually developing a negotiation profile, and you'll first do these self-assessments. These journals are self-assessments. And from that, we will then do some predictive analytics. We'll look to see, well, how would you be perceived by others and what kind of result would you expect based upon the kind of DNA that you now have. And so it does matter how you're perceived by others, and your negotiating DNA helps reveal that. So this journal that we have in mind is one in which you will actually think of those very same items I mentioned. Whatever happened in the last 6 months to a year, it may be more recent in time just because it's easier for you to remember that. What was the missed opportunity to be able to turn something into a positive story that was negative? What adverse circumstance hit you first that gave you those same opportunities? And so we want you to catalog, right, in the journal that we have for you, adverse circumstance or missed opportunity. What action did you take, or what inaction did you have? And then what success or failure did you experience from that? Did you actually take the adverse circumstance and do something with that to turn it into a positive? Examples are in daily life again, just a few. You may have been that child that could look at your parents and say, ooh, this is not a good day to bring up something I want, whether it's the new toy, whether it's something else, whether it's just candy. You're in the store and you say, maybe I won't ask right now. There were certain behaviors that you observed that gave you the negotiating clue. So just like you're perceiving them, remember other people are perceiving you. You want to use that as an advantage to you. Are there times even when you are in one lane in busy traffic and you want to go to the next lane? You have to make some assessments very quickly. How big is that car or truck behind you? How big is yours? Do you have your turn light on, turn signal on? Is that other driver aggressive driver or defensive driver? And of course, how do you fit into that? You have to make all those kinds of assessments before you can actually make that decision whether you're going to just run into that space or let them go by. You go into a fast food restaurant and you get the wrong order. Not a good idea in the first place. I haven't been to a fast food restaurant in quite some time, for good reason. But if you actually go and then see that the wrong order has been provided for you, how do you deal with that adverse circumstance? If you were going to make a flight, but you're running late, and you're not sure if you will, how do you decide what TSA line that you will go through? There's an assessment that you're making, and maybe some negotiation that you will go through. Is there a missed opportunity there? Those are all the kind of things we want you to examine about yourself, because that will help determine your negotiating DNA and will make you more effective once you understand how you're perceived by others, so you can use that to your advantage. Thank you. See you next time. And here are some PowerPoint slides for you to use with regards to this session.